Hey, hello, 102 students. I got a couple of questions. I'll start with this one from chapter 16, number 10. And let me just read it here. Let me find it. Number 10. I lost it here. Here it is. Here it is. Because if the shot heard around the world could actually travel around the world, how long would it take? Well, this chapter, of course, is on sound waves, but the equation that comes to mind and the thought that comes to mind is distance equals velocity times time. So, how far would it travel around the world, or how much time would it take? The first one is they give us how far this is, and they say this is 40,000 kilometers, which might be better written as 40 million meters. So there's the D. And by the way, as a side note, if this number looks like a perfectly round number, you may or may not know the original definition of the meter was to take the distance from the North Pole down to the equator and divide it into 10,000 equal pieces. And then they called that a kilometer. So that is why the full circumference of the Earth comes out to be 40,000. And it makes it pretty easy to remember and kind of interesting that it's kind of spot on here. Anyways, the definition of the meter has changed. They still tried to keep it about the same length, but now they use the speed of light. But that's the original idea, since they would measure distances by traveling and moving of ships and armies and that kind of thing. Anyways, so there's the distance. Now, the real key to this problem is to realize that the speed of sound at room temperature in the air, and this is what we're talking about around the Earth, is about 340, and of course it varies a little bit with temperature. So sometimes we put just an even 340, sometimes we put an even 345. I'm going to go ahead and go with 344. I realized that the temperature would change in different places around the Earth. But let's just call it 344 meters per second. So then when you grab a calculator and take the 40 and then million, 123, and divide it by 344, you get roughly 116,279 seconds. Now, which is the same as 1,930, I'll round it up, 8 minutes. Divide that by 60, which is about 32.3 hours. And maybe that's good enough to stop there. So, hope that's helped.